Yesterday, we spoke to the lawyers to find out the judicial implication of what happened at the appeal court concerning the issue of Rivers State House of Assembly. Today, I want to talk to the politicians of what they are making of that particular judgment. We're being joined in the program by the caretaker chairman of the APC in Rivers State, who joins us from our Abuja studio, Mr. Tony Okocha. Mr. Okocha, good to see you again.
Oh, thank you for having me.
We're also being joined in the program by the PDP leader, Rivers East-West, Mr. Nname Ewor Robinson. He joins us via Zoom. Mr. Robinson, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Mr. Okocha, let me start with you. I'm sure you heard the soundbite, but before we go to that soundbite, what's your interpretation of what played out in court yesterday?
Okay, the Court of Appeal judgment yesterday was ice-breaking. It was profound, it was sound, it was incorruptible. The reasoning that led to the decisions of the three-man Court of Appeal panel are germane. In fact, I see one of the judges who even did what she did. I was so interested. She said that because of the fact that these matters are not properly before the court, that anybody who ventured into it was doing what she referred to as was foreign into inanities. Let me just summarize it with that word. Okay, but it's sound in law, and I want to say to you that it's going to settle a lot of grouses. It's going to settle a lot of gray areas in this state, because at least hitherto we have had orders of court left, right, and center flying. Some are procured in the night and all that. And of course, the Court of Appeal was clear about them. And having put all of the matters in one by consolidation, it means that any party that is feeling not happy with the judgment can ventilate. They can go to the Supreme Court. That is the apogee point of the law. So I think it's a good one for Rivers people. It is justice for Rivers people. It is justice for Nigeria. I wouldn't have expected anything less. I was with one of your sisters, and I said that the entire gamut and the foundation and the background of jurisprudence in Nigeria would have fallen like a pack of cards if the Court of Appeal had said that a judge who had no jurisdiction to handle a matter delved into it and did what he did. And it was clear that the issue of jurisdiction on this particular matter rested on the Federal High Court. And the High Court judge has no business with it. Okay, so we are happy. Rivers people are happy. I think I watched the governor saying that better days are ahead. Okay, whatever it is, whoever feels undone, however be it, should approach the Supreme Court. I also saw the speaker I saw Wanoko Jambu when he claimed that, in fact, he came on television to say that the Court of Appeal was in error. I do not know him to be a lawyer, even if he is one. I do not know that he is superior and above the Court of Appeal. He shouldn't have made such comments. Those are unguided statements.
All right, let's take it to Mr. Robinson of what he makes of that judgment. So, Mr. Robinson.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, sir. We can hear you. Just your reaction.
Unfortunately, I cannot hear any of the things Mr. Sonny said. But suffice it to say that the court has become part of our electoral process. Whether a politician knows these days that he's beating hands down, the next place you see the politician is in the court. Given the Court of Appeal judgment yesterday, the Rivers State government, the House of Assembly, even as a party at the state, we are not deterred by that court judgment, because we have two windows. One of the windows is to appeal that judgment in the Supreme Court, which the House of Assembly has already directed the legality to do. The second window is that the judges of the Court of Appeal have clearly told us that, look, these persons have defected. We are not touching the substance of the matter. It's only the issue of jurisdiction, which they say the State High Court lacks. They have simply directed us to file a proper suit at the Federal High Court. Whether the APC, the 27 lawmakers led by Martin Samuel are still members of the State House of Assembly, based on the Court of Appeal judgment yesterday, is still material. They are not there because the Court of Appeal did not say so. The Court of Appeal did not also invalidate the declaration of their seats vacant by the then Speaker of the House of Assembly, Right Honorable Edison. So whatever celebration they are doing today, or whatever thing they think the Court of Appeal has awarded them, is a temporary relief. It's just like somebody who has cancer and you are giving a paracetamol. That is the position they are. We have headed to the Supreme Court. We're also going to file a proper suit at the Court of at the Federal High Court. But the state government cannot be shut down. Even the Supreme Court cannot give a ruling that can shut down the Nigerian government. The Court of Appeal judgment yesterday, ruling yesterday, or order, cannot shut down Rivers State government. Rivers State government will continue to run. Like our governor said, and he kept saying it, that the war is over. But beyond politics, have Nigerians taken their time to ask exactly what the FCT minister wants in Rivers State?
No, let's not, Mr. Robinson. Let's before I want us to stay on the issue of the courts. We'll maybe, if we have time, we'll come to the issue of FCT minister. We are appealing the judgment. The Speaker says so today. I got that point. I just didn't want us to mop up the issues. You know, when we come to the issue of FCT minister and Mr. Fubara, the governor, we'll talk about that. Mr. Okocha, he said that, because I haven't seen the CTC, I'm looking forward to getting in my hands on a copy of it so I can speak on good authority on some of these things. But some of you were in court and some of the pronouncements that were done. I know there were 11 prayers which I always referred to. And one of the prayers, part of the prayers was the issue of upholding the suspension of Okocha and others, also nullifying their actions and meetings and resolutions and anything they do. What was the position of the Honorable Lord Justices at the appeal court? Because it appears from the conversation we're having, there were no pronouncement about defection and all of that. It was just about you went to the wrong court. Go and file your case in the right court.
Yeah, my dear friend, I have the enrolled order arising from the judgment of the Court of Appeal yesterday. And I would like to, just for a few minutes or while in passing, say this. Let me read this to you, and maybe let my friend also be obliged. It is hereby ordered that 1, this appeal has merit and it is hereby allowed. 2, the trial court lacks the jurisdiction to hear and determine the suit filed by the 1st to 3rd respondents. Consequently, suit number PHC 1512/CS/2024, Right Honorable Victor Okocha and 2 others versus Martin Chike Amegule and 24 others, is hereby struck out. Consequentially, that's the word, consequentially, parties are to return to the status quo ante bellum. Please, I'm sure that maybe when you invite the lawyers, the senior advocates of Nigeria, they'll be able to interpret what status quo ante bellum means. But in my own little knowledge of it, you know, we have all become pocket lawyers. My own little knowledge is that the status quo is, at the time, in fact, before the matter was instituted in court at all, because the Court of Appeal has said that you cannot put something on nothing. The order of CN Wale was, of course, nullified. The one of what's his name again, Gerard George, was also declared a nullity, which means there was nothing before them. You know, so this is the road order of the court. Please, you can go find a copy of it. Make sure that it doesn't look like
I'll take that question, what you just raised now, to Mr. Robinson to respond to what you just read, because I don't have the privilege of that information.
Good.
But I do know that the preliminary prayers of Mr. Nname and others has to do with basic housekeeping, to file and take it as a record, abridge time, accelerate hearing, and then exparte motion to suspend proceedings in that particular court. But there are other substantive issues that I wanted to hear whether there were enforceable decisions of court. Mr. Robinson, your response to what you just read.
The Court of Appeal said the lower court, the state high court, has no jurisdiction over the matter. And by my primary knowledge of law, once you declare that there is no jurisdiction, you have no orders to make further. So the matter ends there. We have gone ahead to appeal the issue of jurisdiction. Whatever order the justices make is tantamount to the faulted the state high court. They said the state high court overreached is a judicial overreach. That is judicial overreach. You said you have no jurisdiction, the matter ends there. You cannot go ahead to make any further order so long as there is no jurisdiction. So we have gone ahead to challenge the issue of jurisdiction. Whether there is further order or not is judicial overreach by the justices.
All right, let me come back to you, Mr. Okocha. I know that in perhaps at the height of some of these issues, the feud that has happened between Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister, and his predecessor, and his successor, I beg your pardon, Governor Siminalayi Fubara, a lot of things had happened, and you've made several calls, calls like a state of emergency, calls for impeachment and all of that, or moves, if I get you correctly. Now that it's clear that Okojombo is insisting on occupying that seat, you said he heard in law, and we heard him say, the appeal court heard in law, according to him. You also heard the governor saying, look, the worst days are over. What call are you going to make next?
Well, first and foremost, let me say to you that what my friend Chief Ewor is doing there is what we refer to as irredentism and revisionism. And it doesn't help issues. You know, when you also go back to the Platonian allegory of the cave, you'll be shocked. You know, people just come out and churn out opinions and all that. Instead of, the governor has said that all of this would be over. I'm sure that what the governor is thinking is that whatever he's doing will pander towards peace, not this revisionism that we're looking at. How can after a court of appeal has given judgment, non-lawyers like my friend Chief Ewor will now be the one to interpret the court of appeal judgment? Is that not an aberration? It's an absurd. Okay, so now to go down to the issue you have raised now. The feud between the governor and his mentor. I have said recently in one of my scripts that Governor Fubara is Wike's political investment. And I went ahead to define what I meant. That from civil servant to candidate of the party and delivering him in 23 local governments out of 23, the first in our history. All of these were Wike's ability to maneuver. And he pulled through. And now the governor is saying, I mean, the former governor has said, I'm not asking you for anything. I'm only saying that you are destroying the structure that even produced you. And if you're a politician, I am one, no politician will allow his structure to be dismantled. Nobody will do that. Because when you do that, it means that you have no home, okay, to fall back to. So that is the issue. It's not about any other thing. The governor had not come to say, look, there's a feud between us. He's asking for money or not money or whatever. And let's Rivers people know and dissect all of it. Okay. Now the issue with the call we will be making is that the Court of Appeal judgment should be obeyed. It should be seen as sacrosanct. Is a given. It should be obeyed. And until the apogee point, I mean the apogee court, the Supreme Court, overturns the judgment, the law is as it is today, as pronounced by the Court of Appeal. So it is not within Ewor to limit the learned justice of the Court of Appeal, limit them to whatever he wants. So it's done, it's gone, and it's gone. The issue there is status quo ante bellum, return back to what it is originally. So if the court of appeal get them the window
I didn't want to interrupt,
properly filing the matter before the Federal High Court, we will be there to wait for them.
You know, sometimes status quo in law is almost a very difficult thing to interpret, depending on the lawyers. I've spoken to a couple of lawyers, and different interpretation to a status quo ante bellum is like the offside rule in football, kind of complicated to interpret, depending on who you're listening to and the biases of that individual in law. Is Martin Nname and others, are they planning to have a sitting? What is the action they are taking if they are saying it has returned to status quo? What are they doing now?
They will certainly enforce the order of the Court of Appeal, the judgment of the Court of Appeal. It's untainted, it's clear, it's unambiguous. You know, at their time, you know, assembly and their projects, I mean their programs, are not one. So they have their processes, they have their programs. It's possible that they're on recess or whatever. So let's wait. Today is Friday. Tomorrow is weekend, Saturday and Sunday. That's this weekend. Let's see what happens from Monday.
All right.
And I think that Nigerians should begin to condemn this. When I see some lawyers and some responsible Nigerians come to television to espouse John Dee's opinion, I said, this is not right. Look at G60, according to the man called Ewor, that is leader of G60. Now, when they told the media people, got across to the Commissioner for Justice and Attorney General, you know his response, that he relies and buys into the decision of G60. G60, is it a social club? Is it a high court?
Mr. Okocha, I want to have my apologies, please.
Now, G60 is
just hold on. If I may button, please.
Merchants.
If I may button, Mr. Okocha, if I may button, please. My apologies, so that I want us to really stay focused on some of the issues. Let's go to Mr. Robinson. Mr. Robinson, we are now dovetailing into the political arena. So it is time for me to ask you the question about your party, the PDP, at the state level, to onlookers, appears a bit docile, appears a bit ineffective. The governor himself had said, look, he is disappointed. He's like, this is now a movement for them because they've been let down. What's your response to that? Because we can see Okocha, Mr. Okocha and his team very forcefully. He's made calls that they say it's alarmist and all of that. But they are making an impression as a political party defending their people. But we haven't seen much of the PDP. What's going on?
You see, the same thing this political gladiator did in the House of Assembly, they did it to members of the National Assembly. They also did it to the party. I'm not the party chairman. I'm a Rivers West senatorial district. The same thing, exactly the same way they hold on to the House of Assembly was the same thing doing they hold on to the party leadership. But by the grace of God, more than half of the party we pulled out and joined Sim for Bayan. Aaron Chukwuemeka, by their own design, is the acting chairman, even if the 3 months has elapsed, by their own design. The secretary, Edinburgh, is with them, the legal advisor. So they destroy this, they hold on to the structures of the party at the different levels of the state. The state assembly, the local government, the party. But as a party, we decided to come out strong behind Sim Fubara. We cannot behave the same way the
yeah, okay, Mr. Robinson, I understand.
We cannot behave the same way the chairman behaved.
My sincere apologies.
So those who are bent on destroying the state, bringing back the state, hold on to all the structures the government to advance development in the state.
All right, Mr. Robinson, thank you. So, look, the reason I asked that question, at the party leadership level in the state, we don't see much of an action. We don't. So that's why I'm asking, so that you can speak on for them.
The state is sharply divided into two.
Okay. Okay. We're winding down.
The number.
Okay.
The National Assembly see the number. The local government see the number. But the party out of 33, we are 17 with the governor.
All right. We're totally out of time, Mr. Robinson. Thank you so much. Mr. Okocha, let me come to you in 10 seconds, if you can. The last time I asked you the question about whether now Martins Nname are now members of your party, registered card-carrying members of your party since they defected. Do you now have answers for me now that the appeal has been sorted?
Yeah, thank you. You know that I declined.
You have 10 seconds.
No, I will not answer. Yeah, the truth of the matter is that neither Martins Nname, the Speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly, nor any member of the Assembly, the 25, neither of them is a card-carrying member of the All Progressives Congress. Neither of them has their names in our register. What we were doing at the point with them was we were weighing them. It is our duty to woo people into the party. And we were weighing them to join us. We were not saying that they are members of our party. No, we were weighing them to come because they seem to be hopeless, they seem to be helpless in the party that produced them. Of course, you saw them espouse and evince a lot of arguments why they should not.
All right, Mr. Okocha. Absolutely. So I'll take it that they are not members of your party by documentation. That's how we'll take it. So they are still... I don't know whether they are members of the PDP. It's almost a bit confusing. Tony Okocha is the caretaker chairman of the APC in Rivers State. Nname Ewor Robinson is the PDP leader in Rivers State. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on the program.
Thank you so much for having me.